what's shocking to me, all right, you were an elected official in Hong Kong. Now you're living outside of Hong Kong, essentially in exile. What happened?
So I fled Hong Kong in 2021 July, which is almost 3 years ago, and it was when the time after so many of my friends were arrested, because I used to work for one of the legislators who is now in jail, who is also one of the 47, and I also led the Civic Party when I was in Hong Kong. So during the time after the massive arrest and when the trial started for the national security law cases, um, me, myself, and also a lot of my colleagues in the district councils, we all were being surveilled and shadowed and harassed by perhaps people from national police or state media. And there was a time when I felt that my personal safety has been, affected. And even
Even
though,
though you were elected as a district councillor, like people voted for you.
yeah, it was in 2019. It was amid the democratic movement, and since the election day happened right after the CUHK and the PolyU sages, and a lot of Hong Kongers, they actually utilized their votes to, to speak out for themselves to express their disagreements to the government. So many of us, although we were green, we were new to the politics in Hong Kong, we got elected not only because the Hong Kongers believed in us, but also because of the political environment by then.
Yeah, I remember that election because essentially district council is like a local government position, right? It's not, you're not in the legislature. It's not really seen as political usually, but because this was the one outlet that people had to express how they were feeling about, the protests and the Hong Kong government's response to the protests, that overwhelmingly the pro-democratic people who were running for district council got elected. So it was definitely, I remember like a lot of people talking about how, what a unique and interesting circumstance that was.
Yeah, that's totally true. And over 2/3 of pro-democratic candidates were elected. You could imagine, like, we have over 300 seats in the district councils across 18 districts in Hong Kong, and over 250 pro-democratic candidates won in the elections. So it was a massive victory to us. But not long after, the regime they wouldn't stand to have so many pro-democratic candidates to be elected as officials. So after that, we actually received a lot of obstacles, and not only in the government, even though we talked apolitical issues in the district council, we would face a lot of obstacles and difficulties from the departments in the government.
Like what, for example?
For example, perhaps just a simple local policies about water usage or water waste usage in my district, Wong Tai Sin. And we may want to invite government officials or higher rank or higher up from the local departments to come to the district council to discuss the issues with us. They wouldn't accept our invitation, and in their sense, in their narrative, they told the public that we try to politicalize every of the policies or issues in the society, but it's them to politicalize the district council instead.
It's amazing. It's like they're really trying to punish the people of the different districts for daring to not toe the party line.
Yeah, I mean, like, you could never have like a 2/3 pro-democratic majority in the Hong Kong legislature just because of the way the system is set up, right, with the special constituencies and stuff like that. So they tried their hardest to make sure that never happened. But the fact that it happened in the district council seemed to have caught them out of, like, they caught them like, also they weren't expecting it, essentially.
Yeah, true. And it was a hard time, but it also, to me, it was also the best of time that Hong Kongers demonstrate our eagerness to democracy and freedom in Hong Kong. And so I really cherish that 1.5 years when I was in the office.
Were you still in office when you left, or had they?
No, I was forced to resign in 2021 because apart from the national security law, the government also imposed a patriotic oath, um, uh, compulsorily asked district councillors to, pledge to be patriotic and to obey not only the rule of the Hong Kong government, but also the PRC government. And by that time, a lot of us refused to take the oath because it wasn't. Uh, it was not a just procedure. I would say it was amid of our time in the office. It's not in the beginning or before, but it was in the middle of the time when we served as a district councillor. So a lot of us actually refused to take the oath, and we were basically forced to resign